दार्जिलिङ जिमखानामा 50 लाख रुपियाँ बराबरको लागतमा अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय स्तरको टेनिस कोर्ट तयार भयो, जसको उद्घाटन आज पुलिस आइजी डीपी सिंहका हातबाट गरियो। यस टेनिस कोर्ट निर्माणको लागि बेङ्गल टेनिस एसोसिएसनले 5 लाख रुपियाँको आर्थिक सहयोग प्रदान गरेको थियो। दार्जिलिङ जिमखानामा 100 वर्षभन्दा अधिक समय पुरानो टेनिस कोर्टहरू थिए, जसलाई अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय स्तरको बनाउने कार्य भएको छ। अब यस टेनिस कोर्टमा राष्ट्रिय, राज्य स्तरीय सँगै अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय टेनिस प्रतियोगिताहरूको पनि आयोजना गर्ने योजना बनाइएको छ। यसबारे जिमखाना क्लबका अध्यक्ष जामलिङ तेन्जिङ नोर्गेले यस टेनिस कोर्टको निर्माणमा 50 लाख रुपियाँ बराबर खर्च भएको जानकारी गराएका छन्।
हाम्रो यो दार्जिलिङ जिमखाना क्लब अलमोस्ट 100 years old, little over 100 years, 110 year old club. यो हाम्रो पुरानो टेनिस कोर्ट थियो अनि we wanted to refurbish the court to make it synthetic अनि इन्टरनेसनल स्ट्यान्डर्डको बनाउने चाहिँ प्रोग्राम थियो। धेरै साल अगाडिदेखि नै सोचेको थियो, खालि फन्डिङ थिएन अनि we didn't have the right people motivated. So हामीले चाहिँ यो पहिलाको कुरा गर्दाखेरि about 4-5 months ago हाम्रो डिएम सरले चाहिँ तपाईहरु यो कोर्ट बनाउनु सुरु गर्नुस्, हामी सपोर्ट गर्छौँ अनि त्यही आर्टले चाहिँ हामीले we started to make the court and
कति खर्च कति भयो?
खर्च almost about 50 lakhs जति चाहिँ what was the budget for this court and त्यो पनि एकदम cost effective way we made the court and now it is an international standard court. हाम्रो international tournament all India tournament we can hold the tournaments here which will generate revenues. हाम्रो यहाँ अब revenue आउने जग्गा पनि हुन्छ अनि जिमखानाको will be one of the locations for the circuit, tennis circuit all over India. So त्यही आशाले चाहिँ we want to promote sports in Darjeeling and we say all the principals of all the schools, Darjeeling girls school, boys school, day school, boarding school, we request you to please come forward and promote tennis to young children. You can always contact हाम्रो अफिसमा कन्ट्याक्ट गरेर हाम्रो पेमाटासी सर चाहिँ हाम्रो वाइस चेयरमन हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँ चाहिँ हाम्रो स्पोर्ट्सको इन्चार्ज हो, उहाँसँग कन्ट्याक्ट गरेर चाहिँ यहाँ कोचिङ सेन्टरहरू छ, हाम्रो कोचिङ will also start and we hope that it will help promote tennis in Darjeeling and North Bengal.
So students will like coaching गर्नुहुन्छ?
Yes, students will like coaching पनि हुन्छ. Yes, there will be some fees associated to the coaching, but it will be nominal fees. And hopefully we'll be able to bring tennis into the limelight with Darjeeling. Besides football, Darjeeling the सबजना football players राम्रो निस्किन्छ. हाम्रो यहाँ tennis players पनि राम्रो छ. We have a lot of national level players we can get from Darjeeling. So we're hoping that we'll encourage the younger generation with these new courts. And please come, आउनुस्, हाम्रो tennis खेल्नुस्, learn to play tennis and live a healthy life.
यहाँ चाहिँ तीनटा कोर्ट बनाउनु भयो.
Yes, तीनवटा synthetic hard court बनाएको छ हामीले. And it's a proud moment for Darjeeling and the Gymkhana club.
मेटेरियलहरु कहाँबाट आएको छ?
The material सबै is done through a private contractor. हाम्रो tender list सकेर पनि हामीले बनाए. We had many people who submitted tender from all over India. अनि हामीले चाहिँ यहाँ एकजना निर्वाणा स्पोर्ट्सले चाहिँ टेन्डर बनाएर अनलाइन चाहिँ बनाउनु भएको. Mostly they made the flooring, the main tennis courts. बाँकी अर्को इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर चाहिँ सबै हामी कमिटी मेम्बर्सहरूले चाहिँ बनाएर जिमखाना क्लबको थ्रुबाट बनायो.
तपाईँलाई लाग्छ कि आज जुन चाहिँ इनोग्रेट गर्नुभयो यसले दार्जिलिङको टुरिज्ममा पनि धेरै फाइदा पुग्छ?
Yes, because tourists जति आउँछ, a lot of people play tennis. दार्जिलिङ आउँछ टेनिस खेल्ने जग्गा छैन छ नि. अनि पहिलाको पुरानो कोर्टहरू हेर्दाखेरि I don't like hard भयो, कुनै के सफ्ट भयो छ नि, there's always complaint. Now we have an international standard, so anyone is welcome to come and play tennis.
I'm Sujoy Kumar Ghosh, COO of the Bengal Tennis Association, and I have with me our secretary, Mr. Sudarshan Ghosh, with coming to Darjeeling here and seeing this particular place come up like this has been a stunning experience. In fact, the plans were there for quite some time. The dreams were there for some time. In fact, we had in the year 1917, we had already finalized certain things, but due to certain unavoidable circumstances, that entire thing got delayed. And thereafter, because of the COVID also, things came to a standstill. But because of the enterprise of the entire team headed by Mr. Jamling and his entire team, they have come up with wonders. This is just amazing. We cannot even believe what has come up in such a short time. And seeing this center now, I can very convincingly say that it is one of the best centers in India, with 3 courts, synthetic courts of international standard. In the past, we had lots of problems in holding tournaments, state level tournaments for the juniors or the seniors, and All India Tennis Association tournaments because of the lack of infrastructure, because they had 2 cement courts and 1 sand court, which was not adequate for a tournament of that stature. But now that all the 3 courts have come up so well, we are already planning to hold a lot of events here, which will start from basically essentially coaching of the students, which has got a very big potential. Our Chief Development Officer, Mr. Gary O'Brien, is already working on it, and along with Ajit and Prema here, who have been big contributors, even with limited infrastructure resources, they have been looking after children. But I think now they'll have an opportunity to do it in a much more professional way. Plus, on top of that, we plan to do a lot of state level tournaments and all India level tournaments for different age categories of 12, 14, 16, 18, even some men's tournament, prize money tournament. And I'm sure all the participants are eagerly looking forward to coming to Darjeeling, not because they've got a new tennis center, because Darjeeling is also such a huge tourist attraction. And now with Siliguri also come up, Siliguri Gymkhana, they've also come up with infrastructure, so it will be easier for us to program events here, so that players can come to both the tournaments and play. It will be easy for them. Because see, likewise nowadays the juniors, they have to play a lot of tournaments to garner points to get rankings, and the climb is very steep because tennis is a very technical game. They have to climb from a different level to an upper level, like Talent Series. Then they have Championship Series, Super Series, National Series, then ITF. So we have to start with the Championship Series here. We can even hold Super Series here. Maybe we'll hold some high level of senior tournaments here. So there are a lot of plans. I'm sure what they have done from Bengal Tennis Association will extend our full cooperation and see that this becomes one of the best centers in India.
Anything that needs to be improved out here?
See, everything, I think, as far as now it's concerned, I think everything is perfect. Everything, details have been taken care of. The only thing probably is, there could be a cushion on this side of the court, because if in the tournament players can run over, they to avoid injuries, they probably have a cushion. For that, for the international event, I think otherwise everything. The weather is perfect, the environment is perfect, the ambience is perfect, the people are perfect, the courts are perfect. I think no infrastructure. You see, in India, in all other districts, the infrastructure is very strong. In Bengal, unfortunately, we don't have mini metros of that nature. Like in Maharashtra, they have Pune and Nasik and all these places. But in Bengal, we never had that. And there was no infrastructure as such. But suddenly, because of the patronage of the people with the administration, a lot of infrastructures are coming up. Unfortunately, from Bengal Tennis Association, we could not do it because of obviously lack of finance or whatever it is. But now that they have done it on their own, we have got a coaching program, as I said. In fact, we were doing in Durgapur and other places, whenever any association wanted support from us, we extended support. but the problem was the infrastructure and the number of kids that had to be brought in. If you have a good infrastructure, then obviously the kids will come in. And we've got very educated coaches. In fact, we've got an ITF tutor with us, and we've got different levels of coaching programs where the local coaches can be groomed into coaching students. All those programs we have. In fact, in Darjeeling, in the past, we've also had coaches workshop. Now that the infrastructure is there, we can have lots of things. This much is said.
Thank you.
BTA CEO Sujata, Secretary BTA, our dear friend Amit, Brigadier Matra sir. I think Poonam has just left, Mr. Ajay Edward, and the higher officials of Gymkhana Club, my dear friend Santosh, to whom a lot of responsibilities have to bear now since this Gymkhana Club has come up. I would say, as Amit said, when I was SP here, the situation was so bad that hardly even a day I couldn't step inside the Gymkhana. I don't remember that ever there was tennis which was played in the Gymkhana in my time. But as others have mentioned, when I reached to Gymkhana at Calcutta, there I started playing tennis and my passion towards tennis started. Sujata, I can only tell you that BTA has to come up in a long way. We as a sports lover, the type of officers like Poonam and several others, we will take our responsibilities in bit and pieces. But till the time the BTA comes forward, I think it will be very difficult to pull up the tennis culture in India. And in Bengal, we hear a lot of names. If you go around 3 to 4 decades back, there were several tennis players who emerged from Bengal. But in the last 2 to 3 decades, we don't see players coming from Bengal. So maybe it's just the beginning after seeing this tennis court. It's amazing. I couldn't believe when Narayan actually posted the pics. I couldn't imagine that these people are going to make such beautiful tennis court in Darjeeling. And I think the Gymkhana Tennis Club will have to take the responsibility. Our dear friend Mr. Ajay Edward is here, Poonam is here, and I think Santosh from the police side will have to take this responsibility. At least all the students of Darjeeling, at least the first exposure towards the tennis, if we can organize by calling and talking to the principals and all those boys and girls who actually wants to play. We can give them the exposure playing in these sports. I remember we have done these exposures in Kolkata in several schools and colleges, and we are getting good results over there. So in the entire North Bengal, since the infrastructure has come up, we'll take up the next step by giving exposure. Most of my tenure have been affected by the COVID, and because of that our interaction to the schools and colleges have been very less. But since the situation is improving, we can take a chance, we can do more and more interaction, and our young generation, we can expose them to the culture of tennis. Roshan Daju, my first association with Roshan Daju was when I was CP Asansol. He came and he built a beautiful court, synthetic court in Asansol. This is being used by the tennis lovers of ADPC, and in the last 2 years or so he has made so many courts. I'll again request Sujata, if you can organize matches, you can allot matches to Darjeeling and Siliguri. Siliguri has also come up with a lot of good infrastructures. So Siliguri and Darjeeling together, if you can allot tournaments, I think it will do a lot of good to the tennis culture in Darjeeling. And from my side, I can assure you, in my zone, at least I have found that there are 3 good centers of tennis: the Darjeeling itself, the Siliguri, and the cluster of Malda and Balurghat. So at least I'll ensure that the players from Darjeeling can go to Malda and play, and the players from Malda can come to Darjeeling and play a few friendly matches. I'll organize from my own end, and I'll take the support of the Darjeeling Gymkhana to give us the spot so that we can organize such type of friendly matches in order to promote this.
सर्वप्रथम त तपाईँ सबैलाई धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद ओन भएकोमा। यो कोर्टले मेरो विचारमा लाग्छ यहाँबाट धेरै प्लेयर बनाउन सक्छ। अघिको प्रिभियस प्रभावहरूले पनि धेरै भन्नुभयो कि नानीहरूलाई इन्करेज गर्नुपर्छ, विशेष स्कुलको नानीहरूलाई। जस्तो मेरो तल सिलगढी जिमखाना क्लबमा म के गर्छु भन्दाखेरि 3 वर्षदेखिको नानीहरूदेखि लिएर 7 वर्षको नानीहरूलाई फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी दिन्छु। हामीले जति पनि इन्टरनेसनल टेनिस कोचेस क्याम्पहरू गऱ्यौँ त्यसमा उनीहरूले भन्छ 3 to 7 इयर्स चाहिँ फर्स्ट विन्डो, 3 to 7 इयर्स चाहिँ फर्स्ट विन्डो। त्यसबाट चाहिँ इन्टरनेसनल प्लेयरसम्म जाने क्षमता हुन्छ नानीहरूको। त्यसपछि 8 देखि 12 सालमा सेकेन्ड विन्डो भन्छ, उनीहरू कमनवेल्थ गेमसम्म जानु सक्छ। त्यसपछि थर्ड विन्डो चाहिँ 12 वर्षदेखि माथिको, त्यो चाहिँ अब ट्यालेन्टमाथि डिपेन्ड गर्छ। तर हुनु पनि हो रहेछ अहिले हाम्रोमा 15-20 जना 3 वर्षको नानीहरू पनि छ। त्यो नानीहरूको यति राम्रो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी, यति राम्रो पिकअप गरेको छ नानीहरूले, र त्यो नानीहरूलाई ट्रेनिङ दिनु चाहिँ जरुरी छ। दार्जिलिङमा हाम्रो त्यसै पनि हिलको नानीहरू स्पोर्ट्समा धेरै पोटेन्सियलहरू छ ड्यु टु द वेदर। अन्त योलाई चाहिँ राम्रोसँग हामीले क्लबले ट्याप गर्नु सक्यो भने सायद 10 इयर्स डाउन द लाइन हामीले राम्रो प्लेयरहरू यहाँ प्रड्युस गर्छौँ।
यसमा चाहिँ ग्रुम गर्नुमा चाहिँ कोर्टको चाहिँ कति इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ?
कोर्ट भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट हो, किनभने यस्तो छ जहाँ पनि खेल्छ, जस्तो यो नानीहरू 3-4 साल खेलेपछि बाहिर टुर्नामेन्ट खेल्दाखेरि उनीहरूले प्रपर इन्टरनेसनल साइज कोर्टमै खेल्नुपर्छ। नानी भनेर सानो कोर्टमा खेलाउँदैन, 10 वर्षदेखि माथिको लागि सबै यही कोर्टमा खेलाउँछ। र त्यसले गर्दा प्रपर साइज अफ भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट। प्रपर साइज भन्नाले तपाईँको 110/55 देखि लिएर 120/60 फिट चाहिँ प्रपर इन्टरनेसनल कोर्ट साइज हो। अन्त यो जुन चाहिँ कोर्ट तपाईँले देख्नुहुँदैछ यो प्रपर इन्टरनेसनल साइज कोर्टमै बनेको छ। त्यसले गर्दा यहाँ खेल्ने नानीहरूले गएर बाहिर खेल्दा पनि उनीहरूलाई केही फरक पर्दैन।
सर्फेसको पनि डिफ्रेन्स हुन्छ?
सर्फेस क्ले सर्फेस हुन्छ, हार्डको, यसलाई भन्छ हार्ड कोर्ट टेनिस। हार्ड कोर्ट हुन्छ, क्ले कोर्ट हुन्छ, ग्रास हुन्छ। अब ग्रास त अब छैन नै। अन्त क्ले कोर्ट चाहिँ तपाईँको अलिकति अब त्यसमा स्लाइड गर्नु सकिन्छ नानीहरूले, मतलब खेल्दाखेरि। तर यो कोर्टमा स्लाइड कम्ती नै चान्स हुन्छ, तर यसको चाहिँ एक्युरेट बाउन्स हुन्छ। र त्यसले गर्दाखेरि नानीहरूलाई या ठुलै मान्छेलाई पनि खेल्दाखेरि त्यो बाउन्सको त्यति इफेक्ट हुँदैन।
तपाईँले अहिलेसम्म कतिवटा कोर्ट सिन्थेटिक कोर्ट बनाइसक्नु?
मैले होल नर्थ बेङ्गलमा या इभन कलकत्तामा पनि बनाएको छु, इन्कम ट्याक्सको बनाइदिएको छु। गर्दाखेरि एराउन्ड 20 to 23 कोर्ट बनाइसकेँ मैले। इभन भुटानको भुटान टेनिस फेडरेसनको पनि पेन्डेमिकको टाइममा, त्यो त झन् यति साह्रो अप्ठ्यारो, जानु पनि सक्दैन, 21 दिन क्वारेन्टाइन अरे। तर ओभर फोनै यो वेबिनारको थ्रु गरेर नै र यो एप्लिकेटरलाई 21 दिन क्वारेन्टाइनमा राखेर पनि कोर्ट बनाएको छ।
यो 3टा कोर्ट तपाईँलाई कम्प्लिट गर्नुमा कति जस्तो समय लाग्यो होला?
अब यहाँ दार्जिलिङमा चाहिँ अलिकति एउटा प्रब्लम चाहिँ के आउँछ हामीलाई भन्दा ट्रान्सपोर्टेसनको प्रब्लम आउँछ, वेदरको प्रब्लम आउँछ। अब बिहान अहिले वेदर राम्रै हुन्छ, बनाउँदै एकछिनमा पानी परिदिन्छ है। र त्यो सबै चिज हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ 2 महिना लाग्ने ठाउँमा कमसेकम 3 महिना चाहिँ लाग्यो।